My topic today is taking the first step. Am I right? So let me explain with my own example. Because my life is 70 with so much hordes and hordes of experience. The good, the bad, the ugly, rise and fall. I take you back to an age where I was just about 12-year-old. Very pretty young little girl with full of aspiration, and it is the first ray of the sun that hits the soil with hopes and aspiration. That is Usha. Usha is my name because Usha means hope, aspiration in the first ray of sun. Always confident about myself. Only thing then was I wanted to go to a convent school. I was studying in a vernacular medium and I pestered my parents that I want to go to a convent school. You know why? I wanted to wear those short skirts and have a little ponytail and walk hoity-toity. Nothing beyond that. That was my dream. And my father said, okay, so be it. Do you know what's the problem? Shifting from vernacular medium to an English medium, do you know any of those? I can manage. After all, I'm Usha. Was there in the class, but then I prepared those customary 3 questions. What is your name? Blah, 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 blah. That's all. Beyond that, I knew nothing. I walked into the class. All the children were talking in the language of English. It looked like gibberish to me. I'm just staring at each one of them because I could understand nothing. So terrified I was. Sheepishly, I went and sat in the first row, mainly because I was too short then. I was asked to sit in the first row. There walks my teacher. My English teacher walks up to me and he says, hey, you! I said, he's going to ask me, what's your name? But that man twisted the tail and then he said, I've seen you somewhere. Who's your father? That was not in my dictionary then. I'm trying to avoid. I'm looking here and there and avoiding his eyes. Hey, you, I'm asking you a question. So I just stood sheepishly, looking at him with a vacant eye, with tears rolling in my eyes. I said, Usha. Whole class burst out laughing. They started trolling me with that name. That is the day I decided that I want to become a speaker. I cried. I wanted to flee from that place. It was fright, total fright. I just wanted to run away from the place because I didn't want to face anyone. The same English teacher, he said, hey you, come. Do you want to learn English? Do you want to speak on the stage? Do you want to come to the morning assembly? Come to the staff room. You know how those days the teachers used to stop, I was there at his knocking at the door. I went, sir, anything? Wordsworth, Byron. Every day he used to give me one page or the other wherein I had to by heart overnight. Tomorrow morning, coming over here, Wordsworth today, Shakespeare. One paragraph from Shakespeare would be given. So tomorrow morning you're coming. That is the rigor at which they trained us, And I go home. I can't tell anybody that I've been asked to learn all this because the house is full of people. So at night when everybody is fast asleep, I used to stand I used to go to washroom then because that is the only place where there was privacy. Stand there and then I used to wait. Cannons to whatever it is, next time what? What's for today? Okay. This is the kind of teachers we had. Yes. Quality of mercy is not strained. Droppeth like a mercy from heaven above. Shakespeare. Okay. So these are the things with which we grew up. And my first step was taken when I was asked to talk about Lord Swami Vivekananda in an international conference by the school. That is where the ice had broken. Beyond that, when I was at college, I was chosen for one of the elocution competition as usual. I was there and Sheikh Abdullah Saab was the chief guest then. Sheikh Abdullah is Omar Abdullah's grandfather. He was wearing a kind of a lucky that you call it, whatever you call it. He removed it and said, what a speech by this girl. My first step I had taken. And this time, in just about few days before I was in Jammu Kashmir, my speech began with my connection with Sheikh Abdullah to Omar Abdullah Saab. He just stood up and he was so mesmerized. I said, a cycle, it's a life cycle. I spoke about it when I was 18. Today I'm 70. I'm talking in front of Omar Abdullah Saab for a reason. And there he stood up, he said, this is what it is. So life is a full cycle, provided you take the first step. All went very well. till I was married. So Jamnagar, I was married. 77, I was married. Only 2 schools. One for boys and one for girls. English was unheard of. And I could only speak English. Imagine Jamnagar mein to, it is total Gujarati. So that is where I had to struggle. I used to cry. I used to say, where did I land? Why am I here in this place? Then I said, Usha, wake up. You cannot cry. Your name itself is that and you're crying for, what are you crying for? So it was then SR, ESSAR, SR, which is called Nayara today, they started this oil refineries. I walk up to the chamber, I walk up to the chairman's chamber, Ruhia Saab was there, walking up to, he said, any appointments? Yes, I have an appointment with you, sir. May I come and meet up with you? Yes. What's it? Do you want a school? I said, yes. I'm willing to start a school for you. I don't know anything about schooling there. Okay? I said, I will start a school for you because you have only 2 schools over here. So why can't you put your money into this basket and start one school for your employees? He said, that's a brilliant idea. Then he immediately connected me with the rest of the people. And a school was born. First step again. The courage and the gumption with which you walk and then you talk makes it all the difference. Started with five teachers and 20 children. That's it. He said, what do you want? I don't have a school space. I said, any house, any garage, anywhere. 5. Give me about 6 months. I needed to get my bearings straight. What does CBSE want? How does it want? All that I had to study. And in one little garage, we started this with 20 children and 5 teachers. Teachers, it was not even teachers, staff actually. All of them were there with me. We started the school. Today, please Google around and see. Nanda Vidya Niketan, started in the name of Ruhia's grandfather's name, stands as the tallest school event wherein we have 3,000 children with 280 staff. It's not a dream. It is this passion with which you do things, and that paid me the dividend. And that is when the CBSE recognized me again for what I was, and I received the award from the President of India. That moment, you must dream of these things. Unbelievable dream. Pranab Mukherjee was there. He was the president there. I'm walking along. My name was being called. Between me and him, there were only few seconds. Okay, I'm just walking along, and he just sat down. He came up, and he's going to be receiving. And the previous day we had all the rehearsals of how to walk, how to talk, everything. He said, please look at the camera. Don't look at it because your shot will be missed. Okay, and I'm walking along, and here is this. That is why he's called as the first man. You know why? As soon as I walked in, your project on inclusion. I did a project on inclusion which was viral. He said, with facts and figures, within 5 minutes he knew what I had done. He said, what's your next on your agenda? Imagine, I had goosebumps. The project itself was very different. Recreating Indus Valley civilization all over again. And that was a project that we did. And it was viral. It went within the city. Within few seconds, not only me, there were about 10 others with me, but he knew exactly what I had done. That fraction of a second, he was able to judge. He said, youth is in your hands. These were the words he told me. That is when I started working for all of you. I said, no, youth cannot be taken away like that. That's why he became closer to my heart. School received British Council Award. For 3 times we were awarded by the British Council for our contributions. It's called ISA Award, which is a coveted award in thing. All this is a story. Why am I telling the story is how you take the first step matters.